samasta sukino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
May all beings everywhere be happy and free.
Another question. How does time affect the ego? Wow. That happens. What happens if time disappears? Okay. So when we talk about time, it's a beautiful concept by itself. Okay, because in time we've got now, we've got past, and we've got future. Okay, that's time. Okay, when we look at time, we will say that we talk about what's the time now? It's 9:40. Okay, but that's not what we actually determine where are we on a timeline that it's determined by past, future, and now. Although we love to say we are living here, we know the illusion is actually, the Maya, is that we are living mostly in the past and we're predicting what the future is going to be. We project the past onto the future and we call that time. Okay? How does time influence the ego? The ego is also connected just to time because it's connected to our story. You remember the previous week we talked about the story, your story, and how your story forms identity. Because what is ego? It's the story of your identity, where you believe who you are. Okay, and that's connected in time because who you think you are is mostly determined by past experiences. Is it not? In the past, somebody gave you a name. You believe up to today that name is you. Yes, it's got the function in society, but it's not the ultimate. You are much more than the name, is it not? If you bump your head and you show up, in Bothaville in the Free State, and you don't know how you get there, okay, and now suddenly they ask you what's your name, you say, I don't know. You don't exist because you don't have a name. No, you're still there. So the name is not you. You're much more than that. Okay? So identity, ego, is the story we tell. And we get it from the past and we project it back to the future. And we think this is how I'm going to be. So we form a continuous line. And we call that time. Because I've got to backtrack this. When we talk about time, like I said, it's not about now. We take from where we think we start, our story, and where we're going. And where I see myself according to this, and we call that's where I am in time. But it's a construct. Okay? We constructed that time because of past memory. Very often we stay in the now. So how does it influence our ego? When we let go of past experiences, past problems, and we become more aware of now being, who am I without my story, like we talked the first week. Who am I without my story? We start to dissolve the ego because the ego is the story. And when we let go of the story, we can directly experience and not second-hand experience any more life. Because second-hand experience, I experience this moment as it is right now through the past of what I believe, what is going on around me because of previous experiences. So we don't experience it directly. So if somebody comes in, he pulls his face because, Gerard has been in certain situations when people pull their faces, it means they're upset or they don't like me. So now I make it personal. So in the now, I feel very unhappy because of somebody that came in. Maybe you had cramps. I don't know. Okay, it can be stomach cramps coming in. But now my story tells me this is what's happening right now and bring me the experience of now. And it's not the truth. So when we talk about getting into being because that's what's being talking about. To let go of stories and to let go of future, what it's going to hold because of my past, to let go of that and become present what really is in this moment without seeing it through the past, without trying to make a conclusion for the future. What is it as it is in this moment? Then we start to experience life in a different way, is it not? So that's what the whole book that I wrote there on the table is about, letting go of second-hand seeing. So we let go of this illusion of what the past created. So my identity that I was thinking who I am dissolves in a certain way. And I become more present, more aware of who I truly am. Is it not? And not what I was told who I am, or who I was made to believe I am. So the ego doesn't like to be so very present. The mind doesn't like to be very present. Do you realize it? We're going to talk next week about the power of stillness and how it's got an influence on your mind. It's a very interesting thing. Why don't people want to sit in stillness? It's got the same issue. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. The ego, when we get more present, how less ego-driven we become. Because the ego wants to protect the story, because it is the story. It's protecting itself. When we dissolve time, there's no past to protect. I can be just as it is and accept things as it is and try to perceive them without the story that I try to follow to interpret the whole thing. And it makes me more directly aware, different treating people, because now I don't treat them out of the past experience. I treat them as new. And I'm more open for new experiences. Is it not? Does it make sense? I hope it answers that. Good.